Because even when I'm here, you end up doing something stupid. See? Yet another one of your brilliant additions fall for flat. Hi.
Something of yours is poking into me. Do you have to take that thing everywhere?
Let's begin.
Doctor Who The Edge of Time can be played with either the DualShock controller or for Move controllers. The DualShock controller has you only using one of your two virtual hands, so it should come as no surprise that two Move controllers are the best way to play. There is actually quite a few different movement settings in the game. You can free move, teleport, smooth turn or snap turn. The problem is that with the smooth turning, it is incredibly slow, even on its highest sensitivity setting, so I did end up using the snap turn option for my playthrough. It is just possible to play seated, but it's really a game that is intended to be played while stood, especially considering you can place your sonic screwdriver on your virtual belt, which is located on your waist. It's doable seated, although you will struggle to reach things every so often. It's just easier to play the game while stood. The main aim of the game is to retrieve 3 time crystals that are needed to save the Doctor. Jodie Whittaker, who is the current Doctor, does all of her voiceovers, and a 3D model of herself is often seen on screens throughout the adventure. The game is split up into sections, or in this case, chapters. Each chapter takes you on a new adventure, and although there is one main storyline going on, each new place you visit does feel like a bite-sized episode of the show, considering the new locations you explore and enemies from the show that you encounter. Environment wise, the visuals can be a bit mixed, but for the most part, the locations do look pretty decent, with only the outside environment looking like it needs a bit of work. The foes are the same too, most of them look extremely good, and quite rightfully, menacing, whilst the ones found in the outside location looking like they are from an indie horror title that you would find on Steam. This part can be forgiven slightly though, considering everything else in the game looks brilliant. Some of the views are incredible, and you completely feel like you're right in the middle of one of the episodes of the show. Great special effects also do wonders when it comes to creating some of the more atmospheric moments. This is mainly a puzzle/experience title. The puzzles here are pretty basic, as long as you know what you're doing. Sometimes they are not explained in the best of ways, and some experimentation is needed. It's not a massive issue, especially as experimentation is one of the key factors of solving puzzles. But here, some of the puzzles hold your hand a lot, and then some don't. Don't get me wrong, they're not the hardest of puzzles ever, but some can have you pondering on what to do next, more so than others, which makes them feel like they drag on slightly longer than they needed to. Luckily, these more time-consuming ones only happen in the first half of the game. Your sonic screwdriver plays a part in puzzle solving too, although it's mainly only used for basic actions, such as opening doors. Still though, it makes for some fun little bits of interaction, especially for fans of the show. I say this has elements of an experience title too, as there are some pretty long moments when you're not really engaging with anything, mainly when a bit of story is being told, but the music along with the visuals do a great job at keeping your attention. Even simply running to your TARDIS to escape your current situation can be quite thrilling. A few other gameplay types make an appearance too, which are a shooting gallery, a stealth part, and a horror section with the Weeping Angels, which is pretty reminiscent of the Five Nights at Freddy's VR game. I don't want to show too much footage of all of these, because it could be entering spoiler territory. The Weeping Angels part is pretty intense, but the other sections are a bit weak, and are not developed that much in terms of gameplay. It's a decent change from the puzzles, but like most of these types of games that delve into many different genres, they can feel lacking. The actual TARDIS is the same one from the current series. There is a brief loading screen once you enter, but before then, you must actually open its doors, and you can clearly see that inside it, there is an expanded area. It's not a completely new effect to appear in our PSVR games, but simply because of how relevant it is here, it does make the effect have more of an impact, and is even more thrilling when it occurs when you exit the TARDIS, as you are presented with a whole new location to explore. It took me around 2 hours to beat the game, and I'm not going to show the trophies, as some could be on the spoiler side. Fans of games that are based on TV shows most likely don't want them ruined more so than other games, so I'll just say that unfortunately, There isn't a platinum here, and it is a pretty easy list to complete. Some are tied to you solving the puzzles under a certain amount of time though. You really want to take your time with this kind of game and explore each place in the hopes of seeing a reference to the show, so I do recommend not taking a look at the list before your first playthrough, and then doing some chapter replays after if you want to still 100% the list. I haven't watched every episode of Doctor Who, but I have seen enough to appreciate the fan service here. Even going through the brief main title screen was pretty fun, especially as the show's catchy main theme blast in. If I'm honest, I went into this game with having not too high expectations. Usually when TV shows make their way into game form, they don't offer too great of experiences, but here I was pleasantly surprised. It's not a fully consistent high quality adventure throughout, and some parts do come across a bit lacking, but there is certainly a lot of entertaining moments to be had here too, that fans will appreciate. It may not last for too long, but how quickly each new location appears and what unique events it holds makes it a game that you want to keep on playing from start to finish. It's a bit like The Exorcist Legion in the sense of how each part is quite different from one another. Even if you're not a massive Doctor Who fan, I think you could still get some enjoyment from this Doctor's adventure, mainly because of the variety it contains.
We seem to be moving.
Beep! Stop messing around! Is this a bad time to say that I need the toilet?
Yes, it is. One staff in here is enough.
I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more PSVR content. More reviews are on their way very soon.